where we just cut to this other story with this completely different like vibe and tone going on, and you're like, is this the same show?
I didn't see. I saw this coming, but I didn't see much like press release for this movie until it was like coming out next week.
And that was the thing for a long time, because if you go back through the movies to a point where he wasn't cast as Dwayne The Rock Johnson, or he was The Rock in the movies. It was The Rock.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Personified Fandom, episode 15. I am Josh Meany, and joined with me, the almighty man of movie reviews, Mr. Mike Daggs. Mike, how you doing?
Do you write these before? Is this like in a note?
That's a secret. I can't reveal my secrets.
I had to go with an energy drink tonight because I am tired. But what's going on, guys?
Hell yeah! And also joined with us, some call him Ginty, some call him Toke, but we can't call him, is a lightweight, Mr. Tokenell. How you doing?
Doing fucking great. Beer in hand, plenty to go. You know me. Booze don't stand a chance.
Never stood a chance from day one. But we got some topics. A lot of times we start with, we got an abundance of topics. Not this time. We got some topics, and we got some interesting stuff that we made up on our own that hopefully you join us for. But Mike, you want to kick us off with the first thing that we're going to be talking about?
Yeah, this first one was kind of a weird way we brought this around. Was we're trying to review The Mandalorian as it goes. Futile to our efforts because we do this show, we record on a Wednesday. A little bit of inside knowledge, inside baseball there. We record on a Wednesday. The show comes out on a Wednesday. We don't always have the time to have everybody watch the episode on that said Wednesday. So like last week, I wasn't caught up. This week, they're not caught up. So one of these days we'll get it. But we're going back and doing episode 2 and episode 3 right now. The fourth episode, by the time you're obviously hearing this, obviously came out today. But episode 2 was the... that was the episode with the mines.
Yes.
Correct? Yes. Where at the end he gets dragged down.
Yeah.
So I thought it was God, I can't even remember the episode, to be honest with you, because but Josh, what were you talking about while I collect mine?
My thoughts. I think it's funny that we were talking about before, when we were talking about Mandalorian, how we didn't know how he was going to prove that he bathed in the mines of Mandalore, but then he just like puts it in a capsule, like, I'm going to take this with me.
Well, that's after. That's episode 3.
Oh, is it? Oh, see, now this is going to be... We can talk about 2 and 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it was a good episode. I think it was a lot better than the first episode. The first episode is kind of like, well, where are we going with this? But I really like seeing more of Bo-Katan, sitting in the chair where she sits at all times, apparently. Anytime you show up to that planet, she's just pissed.
Yeah. At any given moment, she's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people complaining that this episode was dark, like it suffered from the same thing as like the Game of Thrones, like Battle of Winterfell, which I didn't get that
is
at all.
A strange comparison.
No. It was a very strange take.
It is darker, but Mandalorian is known to do that. It goes for these really light tones, but there are some dark tones in this show, randomly, like spread out, kind of like Rebels and Clone Wars. Like, yeah, it's aimed towards kids, but when you watch those cartoons, there's some dark stuff in there.
Yeah.
But not like Game of Thrones.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean not as in dark like that. I meant visually dark.
Oh,
yeah.
I meant
I thought you meant
visually dark. Like you couldn't see anything.
No. I was picking up what you were putting down there, Mike. I totally. I suffered from that watching Game of Thrones. Yeah, it was a lot of the dark stuff going on, but this one I didn't. I mean, obviously it was in an inhabited planet for the most part. They went back to Mandalore. Him and Grogu, they get there. He's showing them around, like, because he's never been there either. He's just going off of where they told him to go and everything else. And, they go to the destroyed city center, and they go down and see these creatures, and yeah, okay. Or didn't get that. Did he even get that far?
Yeah, he got in
No,
there.
he didn't.
Yes,
because
no, he got down, and that's
and
when
then he got taken out by that.
He got,
robot.
Oh, and then it
got
ended?
taken out. Yeah.
Man,
Taken
I don't
out by the
remember
robot.
episode 2.
No,
I have
yeah,
no
so
idea
he
what
got-
happened
yeah.
in episode.
They laughed at me.
Yeah.
They called me a madman.
Yeah,
That's what
so
happened.
they-
I remember
yeah.
episode 3. What the hell happened
Yeah,
in
so-
episode
yeah.
2?
So he got
He
taken
goes on
out
and
and
fights.
sent Grogu back to go get Bo-Katan.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah.
silly.
Episode 2 is the short episode as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's episode 3 that's the long episode.
Yes.
The very long episode, because the episode that came out today is only 30 minutes, and it feels like it. It's like, oh wow, that's all that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, because episode 2 was just so quick that it like really, it was kind of a filler. It's really strange the way they're like presenting this. At times it feels like they don't really know where they're going with it, and you can feel that in the first episode. The second episode kind of as well. I think the third episode does a really good job of like kind of going in a direction, and it's almost weird because it includes the two stories that don't really have anything to do with each other. Like,
Right.
so after he comes out of the mine, and then the episode about the scientist there,
Yeah.
it kind of has like an Andor feel. Did you guys watch Andor?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
it felt out of place and random, just like the Mandalorian and Boba Fett, where we just cut to this other story with this completely different like vibe and tone going on, and you're like,
Yeah.
is this the same
But-
show?
Yeah.
But he's from the first season as well. So that
Yeah,
scientist
yeah.
was from the first season.
Yeah,
and
he
was
is.
the one running the genetic experiments and all that stuff. But
It's
that
because
was
they can't. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, I know there's a lot of fan theories in this and going on with what where they're going towards, and kind of on board. And I don't know. I'm assuming Snoke was a genetically created being
Yes.
in the new
By-
series. So
by Palpatine, man.
yeah. Well, Palpatine is also a clone,
Yeah. Everyone's a clone.
but that's the
I
thing.
don't want
is-
to talk about that.
Yeah.
No,
I know.
No, let's
Getting
really
irritated.
dig into the lore of Rey, and let's no, but it's kind of got like you said, it's got these like pieces that feel like they want stories to tell, but they're too nervous to bring out they want these other bits of story, and that's, at the end of the day, that's kind of what I love about Star Wars, is there's so many characters and stuff that I want to just see stupid. Like, I loved that episode with that scientist.
Yes.
I love that
Yeah,
universe
me too.
so much. It's really one of the, like, true universes that I actually give a crap about. Like, even the Lord of the Rings stuff with the show Rings of Power, it's kind of like, I really don't know if I care about that universe. I think I care more so about the story that was told from Tolkien, and not really like the overall. But like Star Wars, I just want to fucking like, I just want a cool story in that universe. There's so many cool things and futuristic stuff that they have that's got, recognizable ships and all this crap that I just really want to see it. Like, I don't care. Like, give me a show where it just tells random vignettes bounced all around the universe, like how the New Republic's kind of being an asshole, just like the Empire was, in just a different light. It feels like the Republican and Democrat Party. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
they both don't care about you, but just one is more mean about it, and the other
Right.
one kind of says it does everything to you with a smile on their face.
Yeah, dude.
So it's just like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and then to tie it back in with having the Mandalorian part of it was, I like that too. It's refreshing.
Yeah, it was a good little wrap up at the end, like still tied it all together. And yeah, it's crazy. They can do so many different tones. Like, it's such a big universe, and we're already in on the universe to the point where you could put out something absolutely terrible, but we're like, that's fine because you can put out so many other different stories, things that appeal
as
more
long as it has
to the
nothing...
kids, something that's more darker for like the adults. All these, you could do a horror movie in the Star Wars universe. You could pull it off.
There's
you can do
there's
anything.
been plenty of horror aspects. There's been plenty of horror aspects, and
absolutely.
I mean, there's also, I mean, just go back just to the beginning of that episode, of episode 3. I mean, that just the opening sequence of that show was almost an entire show. I mean, it was the longest opening, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" I forgot that this was like, because then also it goes to the theme music, and it's like, "Holy shit, that was the beginning!"
Yeah.
Like I was like already vested.
You're talking about the little battle between the TIE fighters and the...
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was
that
great.
went on for... and it's great.
Awesome.
Oh my god! But even when
I was watching that, I got a Star Wars boner. I was like, "Wow, this is great! I love that this exists now. Right, I'm alive for this. Like, I love this."
Yeah. But even when Bo-Katan was pulling Din Djarin out of the living waters, and they go past what we can only assume is a mythosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely
that has been yeah.
And I've never seen a mythosaur
to be extinct. No, but they've
really
been rumored to be extinct. They've been that's the actual mythosaur is the Mandalorian crest.
Yeah. And I recognize the crest because, like, in Clone Wars, and maybe they talked about it in Clone Wars, and I just don't remember. But I just don't remember the creature, the mythosaur. But I do remember the symbol, and I was like, oh man, that's
because it's rumored to have been extinct.
Right. Yeah.
So
I didn't know anything about that, honestly, until today's episode. They mentioned it, so a little bit of about that.
Okay,
they just mention it. It gets brought up.
Yeah,
because Bo-Katan saw it. So
yeah, she saw it.
She did. Face to face, just looking at that thing. But why didn't it attack
body
her?
to eyeball?
It pulled the Mandalorian all the way down, but when it saw her, it just grilled her. Like what? Like what was that about? You would think it would have did something to her, unless they have some weird connection. I don't know. Like I didn't get that.
Don't know.
It was very strange how she just kind of got out of there. Fine, like it was real quick.
I guess only time will tell with the show. Maybe it plays a factor.
But what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like there's little moments, little hints where I do feel like I'm like, oh, I see where we're going, and then we just do
Josh,
something
we're on a
random.
podcast that we started.
Huh? Oh,
that's a great clip. What are we doing? Well, right now we're on a podcast.
No idea where I am, who I am, why I am. Show's got me fucked up.
What the hell am I doing? I ask myself that almost every day.
Literally.
I get 100%. It's like you could like we mentioned this last week during the first episode came out that Favreau doesn't have. The story isn't complete of what he wants to do, and it shows. And sometimes it's fine. It makes sense. Like you got a bunch of crap. You have a giant audience willing to watch this show, and you don't truly have a destination for it, but it's good.
Yeah.
So keep doing it. I mean, does anybody really need this tightly wrapped up bow to be? We're just in this weird...
Obviously not, because we're in this
still
weird
space. We're in this weird space. Especially, I can't remember if it was here that I talked about it or when I was just talking about it with a friend, that streaming shows, they haven't found the exact formula and how to do it yet. Where it's releasing it all or weekly or these smaller episodes or these longer episodes. Do we make it? Does it have to be 10 episodes? Well... Last of Us, clearly it doesn't have to be a 10 episode arc. There's no formula really that's tried and true and proven for these streaming services. So if this is just going to be like a series that The Mandalorian turns into this thing where there's multiple people showing up because that's getting the most eyes on it, I'm all for it, man. It's working, it's good. And even when it's not that good, it's still okay. Like,
right, yeah,
it's still better than crap. You know, it's better than having a whole show based on someone I really don't care about.
Exactly. It's better than Boba Fett. You know, like I don't know how I made it through Boba Fett, but I did. I guess because there was that inklet of hope. Like it can't all be this bad. And then the greatest thing they gave me was the Mandalorian stuff, and then we got back to Boba Fett, and I'm like,
hey.
And then they combined it.
I think I'm the only one that really I loved fucking Boba Fett. I loved it.
I mean,
there was
the actor play him. That was thrilling.
Oh, dude. I loved the stories, the backstories, and why he's the way he is now, and his change of mind.
I like that too.
I thought it was great, and the whole.
I didn't mind. Yes, I didn't mind the backstory where, even though it was a little backwards, where he went and got his suit, but then had to go get it. It just doesn't. Some of it didn't track. But I don't mind the backstory and like showing him, but I wanted to see him as like an assassin.
Yeah.
Got the afterwards, like the ending of the season was bad. Like I don't care about you being Captain Save Everyone. That's not.
Yeah, that's not why we loved you in the first place. That's not what made people want to see a Boba Fett movie.
It's kind of like Andor, which I think we all. I loved Andor.
It was incredible. I think it's the best written Star Wars show they've done. I think it's way better written than Mandalorian, but I actually do enjoy. I have more fun with the Mandalorian. I've had better moments with the Mandalorian. But as a writing, Andor is Andor's up there, man.
And Andor was, it was nominated for so many fucking awards too.
I loved it.
Incredible story. It was designed. It was legitimately, that was like the greatest like soap opera for fucking adult men.
Yeah,
it was just fantastic.
And that's what I mean by like you have all these obscure characters that you can do all this different stuff. You can make a heist, a show about a heist in this like political tension show about these smaller characters that is good. And it doesn't have to be fucking Anakin Skywalker. It doesn't have to be Han Solo. It doesn't have to be C-3PO and Chewbacca. It doesn't have to be fucking Palpatine in order for people who love Star Wars to be interested in it.
But they're scared. They're scared to do that kind of stuff for some reason. It's like they didn't do. It's almost like they feel like they owe us something with everything they give us, except Andor. There wasn't these big like cameos and connections. It was really like. It was its own thing, you know, and they feel like they have to give us all
one
this
cameo.
Yeah, honestly, and they feel like they just have to give us stuff. Like, let's show you stuff back in the prequels, and we got a baby that looks like Yoda, and you know what I mean. They don't have to do that.
We got some Kenobi for you. We got Kenobi fighting Vader. You like that?
Yeah,
like, I do.
Yep.
But give me other stuff too. Like give me a Bosk show. I just want a Bosk show. That's it. I want a big old dumb lizard.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
What that guy's doing.
I would be totally sold on just a straight up 3PO fucking R2D2 fucking series.
See, that's
what's funny?
Shit. That's all. Go watch.
Go watch. I
don't.
Oh
my God.
I really don't. In fact, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but sometimes when they pop up now, I'm like, I'm kind of sick of seeing you. I love them, but they love to throw them randomly in the content that they're making, and it's kind of like,
go watch the Clone Wars. Go watch the Clone Wars episodes and Google Clone Wars filler episodes, and that list of episodes that'll show up
are the
that's
solo
the
ones.
Yeah, 3PO and Arthur. I'd be watching that show, and any time that they'd be like, "There's a village of children that are under attack by the Empire. We have to go save them." I'm like, yep, I can skip this.
Yep, like this nothing impactful.
Nothing serious gonna happen today. I bet you R2D2's gonna fly out of there with some kids. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
We'll be okay. But yeah, so I'm pumped for like a second season of Andor. I'm really enjoying The Mandalorian.
Yes.
I want these smaller stories, and hopefully the biggest tragedy is that like Andor didn't have the viewership, but that's just because I think it's slowly working its, they were just working its way back off of like just people being frustrated with it. And I think that if they can get people to either go back and watch it or watch through season 2 and word of mouth spreading. Like, I tell everybody that likes Star Wars, I'm like, if you haven't seen Andor, watch it. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Um,
The only downfall is we know the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, then that means that the show, and you know me, I mean,
It's
for
gonna
me anyway,
it will
I
have
like
its ending.
things being short and good, and just let that exist. It doesn't have to be 10 seasons of Cassian Andor. I don't want that.
No.
I just want.
I think they should cap out at 3.
Well-written story.
Yeah.
If that, do one more season and then go to someone, like, focus your energy and time and find good writing and directors on another character in the universe. There's so much to do. There's thousands of years of Jedi history. Find something.
I mean, we are getting what Ahsoka. That's coming soon.
I'm excited for that.
And hopefully that's
I hope that's good.
I'm sure,
because
I'm more optimistic now because of the last few things have been pretty good. Of characters that have more stuff than just fucking Kenobi. Like, I liked it, but
I loved Kenobi.
Yeah, I mean,
I
want season 2.
I love moments of Kenobi.
Kenobi has some of the best Star Wars moments in history, and that I will remember for the rest of my life.
I loved about a movie's worth of Kenobi.
It should have been a movie.
It should have been.
It should have been. It was supposed to be a movie. And then when I heard they were going to do a show, I'm like, oh, maybe that'll be good for it, but it wasn't.
My favorite parts are the when he's sneaking Leia out in his trench coat, and when the slowest forest chase ever. I love the weird editing where the TIE fighter's like 10 feet from what's her name, and there's so many. I love the gate, the gate in the way that they just could have walked around.
Could have walked around, yeah.
All right, but not to get into too much of that. And we successfully turned this into another Star Wars podcast.
Never fails.
So from the going up roller coaster, going up stock of Star Wars to the crashing down of a DC IP, Shazam 2 came out last weekend, and boy oh boy did it not make a lot of money. So the budget for the movie was about 110. Here it says 110 to 125 million, which is kind of on the cheap end.
Nowadays,
as far as
for nowadays,
yeah.
As far as how superhero movies are made nowadays, it approximately sits at 68.8 million. So as of right now, it is a pretty big failure. I just didn't see. I saw this coming, but I didn't see much like press release for this movie until it was like coming out next week.
Yeah,
like. I feel like I didn't. I heard about it a couple months ago, and then that was it. There was no real big buildup for it, and I guess maybe they just want to prep it to never exist again.
Yeah, getting it ready to die.
Yeah,
which sucks because, I mean, the first one, I really enjoyed the first one. Yeah, it was kind of quirky, but it was fun to watch. Like, even my wife, it's like, you know what? She was like, I actually kind of enjoyed that movie. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was definitely fun.
It was surprisingly good, movie. I think. Like, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Like, I had a very big interest in it when I went to the movies and saw it, but I came out and I was like, wow, that was really good.
So in your normal words, it had no right being that good.
It had no right being that good. Yeah, I thought it was really good until, see, here's the problem. I thought it was great until the end when, like, everybody gets the Shazam powers and they have, like, the Shazam family, and I'm like, I feel like we're heading in a direction I don't want to go. I really want to see solo Shazam, solo Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the family, this team. I don't need a team. Damn it, we don't need a team.
No, that was completely unnecessary. I don't know why they decided, like, hey, you know what's even better than one Shazam? Get ready for 5 Shazams. You're like, what? What? Like, I don't care about any of those other people. I like the cripple friend, and I like the kid. Great. That's it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's all. But, it's also weird, too. You don't see anything about that kid at all. Like, they just don't show him ever.
I know.
You don't see him in any trailers. No. He's just always Shazam now.
Yeah.
Which is, like, kind of strange. It just creatively and I'm with you guys. I thought I wouldn't give it the old stamp of it had no business being that good, because I don't think it was that good. I thought it was okay. I thought it was like I thought it was going to be a train wreck, and it was fine. It was a good movie. Until the end, I was like, I'm actually having a good time with it. The comedy was like appropriate for the setting.
Yeah,
unlike some superhero movies now all have to be action comedies now, which is strange. Which is also, this is what made me think about this movie, is like, I don't know why every single superhero movie has to be the funniest thing ever made. Like, it just has to be packed full of comedy now, and it's weird, because if you go back and watch some of, like, the earlier Marvel stuff, pretty much before Guardians, there were some, like, serious movies. Like, look at, like, Civil War and Winter Soldier. Like, they had comedy sprinkled in, good time, like one-liners and stuff. But
in their prime, they were able to balance both so well. Yes. Like, they were able to do these real funny moments, but also have these very serious moments. But yeah, now we're in this weird phase where it's all comedy. I mean, Quantumania, that was one of my problems with that movie. It was just like, everything's a joke now. Everything's hee ha ha, look at this. Like,
And when you're setting up for this next big threat, like, what, you're just going to shift back to not being funny? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, that's Marvel, though. For DC wise, it's still kind of the same thing. I mean, look at freaking Wonder Woman 2 was plagued by that, where it's like, oh, all these fucking funny jokes, and you're like, but what the hell? Like, Pedro, like, you had Pedro Pascal in a movie, and he wasn't that good at it. Like,
right.
How bad you fucked it up? But so none of us have seen Shazam 2. I haven't heard anything about it, which is always the worst thing for a movie. If you hear that it's terrible, you almost kind of want to see how bad could it be.
The reviews haven't been great. The reviews have been pretty lackluster.
Yeah, and so I guess they kind of wanted this movie to just go away. They didn't hype it up too much. It's kind of in this like realm of, are they going to keep it around for the next phase, like this next phase of DC movies? And I don't know.
Probably. Well, I mean, with the way everything's going on with Snyder, who know? Not Snyder. Fucking
James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. I mean, so he already basically said, "Yeah, we're not doing no more Black Adam. Black Adam's done."
Yeah.
And it's like, so, and in Shazam, it's the same universe technically. So maybe that's why. I'm assuming that's why we weren't seeing any of the advertising and everything building the movie up.
Yeah, they just wanted to die quietly.
So, which sucks, because I'll still watch it when it comes out.
Yeah. So Shazam had Superman in it. It wasn't Henry Cavill, it was just him kind of in the classroom, right? That was like the ending of the ending or the end credit scene or whatever. And then in post credit. And then Black Adam had, I watched Black Adam, but I didn't see the post credit. What was the post credit for that?
Amanda Waller shows up, and they're basically trying to get Black Adam to like stand down and work with them or whatever. I believe I only saw the movie once, but and then
I don't remember.
He's like, no one on this earth can stop me, and then Superman kind of comes out of the shadows and is like, Black Adam, let's talk, and then it ends.
And it was Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah, it was.
So obviously that's, and so apparently, I mean, to tie this into our next topic, The Rock, they did film a Shazam post-credit scene.
Yes.
But it got cut in place for the Superman one because The Rock lobbied to have Henry Cavill come back.
Yeah, and so not only did they do a post-credit with that, but it wasn't that he was just lobbying for Henry Cavill to come back. He did not, and argued about having Zachary Levi Shazam in his movie. He just like, I don't want him. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Just being him.
Yeah, it's so weird. He had this like huge ego going in, like the hierarchy of the DC universe is going to change forever. And he was kind of like making it sound like he was going to be like the head of DC almost, like the way he was talking. And then Black Adam comes out and I like it, but it sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, yeah, he lost all credibility. He got Henry Cavill back, but they never signed anything. So he like took that leap of announcing that to everybody. It's like, and look what it did. And then for some reason trying to alienate himself from Shazam. I don't understand that. Because they also wanted to do, I heard they wanted to do
You're
a
the same
Black
thing.
Adam post-credit scene. And the first Shazam. And The Rock didn't want to do that either. And it's like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
You're born from the same friggin' powers. You guys have the same origination.
It's like Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, Batman and Joker. It's like Shazam and Black Adam.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange. It's like I don't know. It kind of like makes you ask this weird question because I know he was alienated from like the Fast and the Furious franchise too. Like, is he just kind of a dick? Like, is he tough to work with or something? Because like in that franchise, I heard it was Vin Diesel was being the asshole.
But yet again,
now it's like this is a second.
But he's the only one that's not back. Everyone else came back for all the fucking movies.
Yeah, so it's weird that like,
and they all love each other.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, The Rock's a dick.
Yeah, and now, but then again, now you look at it, you go back even further back in history, where he first got his acting career from after wrestling, well, even while wrestling, where he did that CGI friggin' Scorpion King in fucking the Second Mummy, or the Second Mummy movie.
Second Mummy,
and then basically, he held, Brendan Fraser basically took him under his wing and helped him do this and become an actor. And then he kind of went, "Oh, this is mine now. See you later." Now we're doing a Scorpion King movie, No More Mummy, by Brendan Fraser. And and then he kind of we lost Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now was that totally on him? I don't know if that was.
No, that was more. That was more of the flop of the third one. The third one did not do well.
There was.
Yeah. I want to see a fourth one. That'd be great.
I have seen multiple articles. I wish I brought them up. I could find them, but there was a lot of them where basically that was part of the thing where there was like a love-hate relationship between the two of them because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, even before that, the whole leaving the WWE to do his acting career, there was a rift between him and the WWE, which is understandable because Vince McMahon also sucks. So he didn't want anything to do. They still own the rights to The Rock. So that's why he can't even use like The Rock in anything. But like, yeah, it's just, there's a lot of franchises now that have kind of alienated itself because of Dwayne Johnson. So it's kind of like, where there's smoke, there's fire to some of this stuff. So.
And that was the thing for a long time. Because if you go back through the movies to a point where he wasn't cast as Dwayne The Rock Johnson, or he was The Rock in the movies. It was The Rock. And WWE was one of the executive producers for every one of these movies.
Yeah.
And then it progressed to Dwayne The Rock Johnson in this movie. Mm-hmm. And now it's Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they still, like I said, they can still claim like royalties from part of his stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird situation. And again, it's just more confusion and turmoil for where the DCU is going. There's a lot of stuff they got to button up, especially, I guess we'll know it all when the Flash movie comes out.
Right.
That's been endorsed by Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's
Tom Cruise is like now the ambassador of everything.
Yeah, if you said it's good, it just has to be fire now.
Yeah,
for some reason.
he was. He showed up. I was watching F1 Drive to Survive. It's like a show that follows the F1 drivers, and he just randomly shows up in an episode of that. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Why is Tom Cruise everywhere? Which I don't really hate it because he's one of the biggest movie stars in the world. So it's kind of like one of those cool things when you see him, like, oh, that's Tom Cruise. So, I mean, I don't hate it. If he gives his thumb of approval, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to mean exactly. It's got to mean something if he enjoyed it. He loves movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we got today on Personified Fandom. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Mike, where can they find you?
I'm at Dags Reviews. Josh reminded me today that I got 2 videos to come out. I took way too long of a break, but you know how it goes. So Dags Reviews, that's where I'll be shortly, the ending of my top 100 movies.
And Ginty, where can they find you drinking?
You can find me on TikTok, toke.24_NR. My content has been limited lately, but I am live every Friday, Saturday night, and I'm usually drinking and having a good time.
All right. And yeah, that's the wrap. Till next time, everybody. Oh, hey, look at you. You made it to the end of the video. Well, if you like what you saw, be sure to hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button. Should be over here, I hope. Also, check out some of the other videos we have on the channel right over here. Do it. Click the video. Click the video. Dude.